Hello everyone. Today I'll be discussing the current energetics, Ascension delay tactics, the distractions that we are seeing play out in our external reality experience during these times. So right now the energy has ramped up to another level, meaning that there is a lot of light present on the earth plane where many individuals are embodying the light. And these numbers are growing each and every day. And what we are seeing is the contrast playing out. As when there is something of great magnitude of darkness taking place in our reality experience, there is something equal in that of magnitude in the form of light playing out. When there is something dark taking place, there is something light taking place at the same time. So what is happening at the moment throughout the world is evidence that there is a lot of light on the earth plane, that a big shift has taken place, that there is a rapid transformation taking place. The DNA activations on an individual level are taking place, that great change is happening. So what happens is there are attempts to delay the ascension of the collective consciousness in Gaia. The ascension on an individual level and collectively and for Gaia cannot be stopped. There can only be attempts to delay this. And the external, what is playing out at the moment and has been playing out since the beginning of time, has no power over us, over you as an individual. So what we are seeing play out, these tactics, the distortions, the lies, the disinformation, and yes, some of it is very sad and very real, and I feel for those individuals connected. All in all of what is playing out externally are delay tactics. The darkness is very aware that the ascension is taking place, that there is a lot of light present. That is precisely why the darkness is getting very loud and there is a lot of chaos playing out. Because the darkness is losing grip. The darkness knows that it cannot stop the ascension. The darkness can only delay it. And the darkness has no power over this. So what is happening is that with the darkness playing out externally, what it is doing is it is creating a fear-based narrative, that old fear-based programming from a vibrational frequency standpoint. And the darkness gets very loud, the distraction comes into our conscious awareness, and it's an invitation to connect with that energy. So when we connect with the low vibrational energy, that energy of the past, we become that. And we get involved in a delay mechanism. And in essence, it's a disconnection from the self. So when we give energy to something externally that's playing out, we are removing ourselves from the present moment with the divinity of the self, the connection with the self, divine union with the self. So all that is playing out at the moment is an attempt to take you out from the present moment, from the connection with yourself, divinity, your higher self, your guides, and to give energy to that thing. All in the name of delaying your individual ascension and the ascension of the collective consciousness. So this is what is playing out right now. And this is a huge gift. I've spoken about the light in disguise. Because in essence, what is playing out externally, the disinformation that people are seeing, the lies, the darkness, people are waking up. So this is assisting individuals who are choosing to love themselves and embody the light, to see it for what it is, the distortion, the distraction, and it is waking other individuals up. All of this is the Great Awakening. As you all know, and I've spoken about this before, through your individual awakening and awakenings, that it wasn't a smooth process, that there was a lot of darkness involved. And in fact, it was the darkness that woke you up. So now this is what is happening on a greater scale for the entire world. So individuals now have the opportunity to see the darkness for what it is, to see the disinformation, to see the distractions for what they are, and choose the self over those things, to align with the self, with one's divinity. And the numbers are growing in light each and every day. And as you can see, the darkness is getting desperate, and the darkness is slipping up, because it is obvious that there is disinformation through the major media outlets. It is very, very obvious what is playing out right now. And it's all an attempt to get individuals to fight with one another. And we have nothing to do with that thing. The orchestration, the ascension delay tactics are to get individuals to lower their vibration, to go into fear, anger, rage, jealousy, doubt, all of the lower vibrational antics that play out, that create separation. That is what is happening. The individuals watching this are awake. Okay, so we know that when there is something really big in the form of darkness playing out, we know that we are on the right track, and that something truly magic is happening in terms of a change, a great awakening, a leveling up is taking place. So the darkness is showing you your own light. There is the contrast. On an individual level, since I have been sharing my intel, expressing myself publicly, as everyone goes through this. Anyone who expresses themselves publicly will go through this. There is opposition. When you're acting from a place of integrity, light and love, you embody the light. There are delayed tactics on an individual level, and I have had this. I've had many individuals try to stop me doing what I'm doing in the form of delayed tactics. The difference is that I've been doing this long enough and I can see it for what it is, and I don't engage in it. If you'll notice, if you follow me on Facebook or even on this channel, on any social media outlet, I do not allow any negativity into my space, because I know what it is. I tune into the energy. So it's good to be aware of things. So it comes into my conscious awareness, that interaction, and I see the delay tactic for what it is. And more often than not, 99% of the time, it has nothing to do with what I'm saying. It's a complete distortion, distraction, and it's an attempt to stop me doing what I am doing and doing what I love. So I do not engage in it. I choose. It's a choice with free will not to engage in that, because I've had a lot of practice for many, many years. I have been, as many of us have, for many, many years aware of the darkness. Okay, at first I had to do it by myself, so I didn't really have individuals who were highly empathic as I was, who were feeling and going through what I was going through on that level. My awakening happened before the circles of individuals I was interacting with. But I've been aware for many years, and it's a huge gift because I had a lot of practice, a lot of interaction with it. I became it at one stage. With the substance abuse, with not loving myself, with the hate, the anger, I became it. But what it was an opportunity for me to fully understand the darkness, for me to study the darkness in all its details so I understand it. So moving forward, when I chose to love myself, and everything amplified for me in my reality experience, I have the expertise in interacting with the darkness. So when coming onto the social media platforms and expressing myself and providing intel, the darkness is still there. Just because I may be embodying the light, as many of us are doing, and the numbers are growing each and every day, doesn't mean that the darkness fades away from what we experience in our reality experience. It will still crop up. And always to check in with the self, the shadow aspects. Is this something inside of me that is triggering me? Or is it just a blatant attempt to delay your ascension, my ascension, our ascension? And a lot of the time, when you get to a certain point, it is evident, it is obvious that it is a delay, and it has nothing to do with the actual intel that I'm delivering or the information being relayed or what I'm sharing, my creative expression. It is an attempt for me to align with that energy, with that vibration, to keep me stuck in the cycle of old, in what has already happened, because of other individuals fearing change. Individuals fearing new information coming through, new expressions. But like I've said, this is all a gift. And I know, so right now in my reality experience, no one or not anything, I don't answer to anybody. I'm my own boss. And anything externally is just an invitation. And I have a choice to align with that thing or not, or agree or disagree or whatever. But I choose very quickly, because I see by tuning into the energy, not only by the words, the energy. Energy speaks. I see it for what it is, and I immediately disengage from that thing, because that's the only way it can control me through the fear-based programming, is through engaging with that thing. So I remove myself, and in doing so I am assisting the other individuals, letting them know that it is not acceptable in my reality experience for these tactics to be played out. If I allowed it, it would continue, and the other individual wouldn't change their behavior. So that, why I'm mentioning this now on an individual level, is that this still pertains, and it's the same thing when interacting with whatever is happening on a global scale. Okay, the greatest power is in the embodiment, is in the functioning with an integrity, the expression of light from within. So whatever is happening externally is not to engage in it. Okay, it's good to be aware of some things right now, but know that the flare-ups that are taking place right now, the noise, is an attempt to delay the ascension. And the only thing we need to focus on is ourselves. By focusing on ourselves, that's the embodiment, that is the expression, that is the frequency pulse being sent out. That is where the power is. So that is where the delay tactic comes in, is to delay exactly that, nothing else. So by forgetting about everything else and knowing that this is a distraction, I choose not to engage. You have won. We have won. The light has already won. The darkness knows this. And these are just attempts to align with what is old and outdated and very obviously no longer works. As we are moving into that 5D earth, 5D consciousness, where there is love and light, and the old from a vibrational frequency level, not that it is bad, right, wrong, good, or anything, it is just no longer in service to where we are going. So those are the current themes playing out at the moment that are very evident, okay, all designed to keep individuals in fear, in lack, to align with something externally that is no longer of service. All in an attempt to take us away from the present moment, the connection with the self. That is it. It's actually very simple, and we overcomplicate it, and the darkness complicates things. It's very simple to be present in alignment with the self from a place of love, knowing that nothing has power over us externally. So a huge gift in disguise. And if the light to you is not visible yet or evident, you can't see it, you will. It is happening. right now. And the evidence is showing itself. So not all the information coming through the media is distortion. There are some fantastic things coming through. There's a lot of light present from individuals in positions of power now. We are seeing the light is winning. So just to tune into the energy of what's taking place and see what is the real communication underneath the energy coming through, what is really playing out, and always to question everything. I question everything with an open mind always, but any information that I interact with, I will question. I'll check in with myself always, because the guidance coming through is light. When we connect with our own guides and higher self, and you will get the information clearly without 3D distortions. Sometimes when information comes through other people, the information is distorted. There is ego involved. So always through anything to check in with the self and not to react, have an emotional reaction to the thing. That's when we give the energy to that thing, and that thing's amplified, as I have spoken about before. All in all, what I do individually when I see something really dark happening, I know immediately that there is something magnificent, similar if not greater in magnitude of light, happening right now that will make itself known. And I look forward to that thing, and I align with that thing, and I become that. So that is what is currently playing out right now. The energy is intense. All of this, what I'm saying, and all that is being reflected to us is evidence that there is a lot of light. The light has ramped up. And this is something to be really excited about. And as always, yes, the things that are happening, some of them are really shocking and really sad. To have compassion. To have compassion for what is going on. Okay? But at the same time, not give our energy to it. It doesn't serve the other individuals to give energy to it, to align with that thing, to amplify it. To have compassion and love, to have an open heart, looking after your energy field, your auric field, your energy. As your energy, our internal state of being dictates what happens externally. Sometimes it takes place for the darkness to come out, make a lot of noise. There is a shake-up, there is shifting happening, but soon it will be reflected. And just to trust the self, that soon the miracles will flow through to you, and there will be evidence of the light coming through. That's the energy update. That's the message. Thank you very much, guys, and have a fantastic week. Goodbye for now.